Welcome to Golden Goose Tales.
Once upon a time, in a gentle meadow filled with wildflowers and buzzing bees, there lived a modest little country mouse. His fur was soft brown, his whiskers twitched with curiosity, and his paws were always a bit dusty from working in the fields. Life in the countryside was peaceful. He rose with the sunrise, gathered grains, nibbled on fresh berries, and drank from the cool stream nearby. Though his meals were plain, the country mouse enjoyed every bite. He loved the quiet songs of the birds, the whisper of the wind through the tall grass, and the safety of his snug burrow beneath an old oak tree. One morning, while he was gathering berries, a shadow fell across his doorstep. It was his cousin, the city mouse, coming to visit. The city mouse was a sight to behold. His well-groomed grey fur glinted in the light, his whiskers stood out like fine threads, and he wore a stylish waistcoat with a bow tie and shiny, polished shoes. His voice was quick, lively, and full of excitement.
"Cousin?"
He squeaked cheerfully.
"Pleasure to see you. How quaint your little burrow is."
The country mouse gasped, blinking in surprise, but a warm smile soon spread across his face. He prepared a feast of the best grains to welcome his cousin. There was corn, barley, rice, and beans of various colors. The city mouse nibbled his meal politely.
"This tastes fresh and healthy too. But tell me, aren't you tired of seeds and roots every day? In the city, we dine on the finest cheeses, sweet cakes, roasted nuts, and fruit as bright as jewels. You must come with me and taste real luxury."
The country mouse smiled shyly.
My meals may be simple, but they are enough for me. Still, you make your world sound wondrous. Perhaps I should see it with my own eyes.
The city mouse clapped his paws with delight.
"Splendid! You'll never want to come back once you see what awaits."
So the two cousins set off. They traveled across rolling hills, past streams and villages, and at last reached the bustling city. The country mouse's eyes widened at the sight. Towering buildings stood shoulder to shoulder, their windows glittering in the sun. Merchants shouted their wares, and delicious smells drifted from kitchens and bakeries.
This is the city,
whispered the country mouse in awe.
"Yes, cousin,"
replied the city mouse proudly.
"Here, life is grand."
That evening, they slipped into a fancy townhouse where chandeliers sparkled like stars and carpets were soft beneath their paws. The city mouse led his cousin to a dining room where a banquet feast awaited, leftovers from the master's table. The table was covered with wonders the country mouse had never seen. Golden bread rolls, creamy cheeses, pies bursting with filling, and colourful, jewel-like fruits bursting with freshness.
"Help yourself,"
urged the city mouse. The country mouse tried a slice of pastry, savouring the rich taste he had never known before. But just as the cousins were enjoying their feast, a dark shadow crept silently into the room. Suddenly, with a fierce yowl, a great cat leapt onto the table, its eyes gleaming, teeth bared, and sharp claws swiping toward the terrified mice. In an instant, the city mouse grabbed the country mouse and they bolted into a hole in the wall. It was a close shave. The country mouse's tiny heart was pounding like a drum. Inside the dark crevice they huddled together, trembling as the cat sniffed and scratched around the table. When at last the cat left and silence returned, the country mouse gasped, his voice shaky.
Cousin, this food is indeed fine, but how can you live like this, never knowing when danger will strike?
The city mouse gave a small shrug.
"It is true. We live in fear. But is it not worth it for such riches?
The country mouse shook his head firmly.
No, cousin. I would rather eat a crust of bread in peace than a banquet in terror.
He thanked his cousin for the visit, but that very night he set out on the road back to his meadow. At night, the meadow lay quietly beneath the silver glow of the moon. The tall grass swayed gently in the evening breeze, while fireflies twinkled like tiny lanterns. And when he reached his little burrow beneath the oak tree, he nibbled on a dry seed and curled up in his tiny bed woven from straw and lined with moss. He listened to the gentle chorus of crickets and let out a deep sigh of relief.
Ah, there is no place like home.
So the city mouse chose luxury with its dangers, but the country mouse found joy in the simple comfort of home. My dear friends, remember, the best life is the one that makes you feel safe and happy.
That's the end of our tale. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more timeless stories.